Okay, racists, listen up. It is very, very important. I'm going to give you a quick survey here. It's from New York University, the Steinhardt School of Culture, Education, and Human Development. And now, to build a more affirming environment, I need you to ask a couple of questions. Well, I'm going to ask you one question, but it has 30 answers. Now, I think that's limiting myself. But, apparently not for the people at NYU, racists. NYU would like their students to take this right before, we have to just know who everybody is. So which gender do you identify with? And I should say, parentheses, there's an S after gender. So parenthetically speaking, you could have more than one. What do you identify? Select all that apply. A gender.
Is there an upper limit of how many genders
Nope.
I can? Okay.
No.
Mm-hmm.
A gender.
A gender. What does that mean?
The asexual means ick, right, to everything. So this would be ick.
Well, but this has nothing to do with sexuality, right?
Right, nothing to do with sexuality.
So this is just gender.
Right, I'm just saying the A before sexual.
Right.
Means ick.
You're opposed to it in some way.
Right, so I'm opposed to gender.
Okay, so denoting or relating to a person who does not identify themselves as having a particular gender.
Okay.
So you're just against gender, basically, as a construct or something?
Okay, maybe.
I don't know if that's philosophical or internal.
Then there is allogender.
Like
Ali. Maybe it's like I am the gender of Muhammad Ali. It's ALIAGENDER.
Spell it one more time.
ALIAGENDER.
Okay. Here it is.
Okay.
That is a gender experience which is other or stands apart from existing gender constructs.
So if I say, wait, Demaboy is kind of me, but not exactly me, then I would be allogender.
This is like the catch-all
right.
of I'm not in the other groups, basically?
This is Paul talking about the unnamed God. You guys have all these gods. Well, there's one that covers everything else. I think that's what it is.
Okay. So allogender is a catch-all. We're going to call it that.
All right. Bigender, it would be two genders.
Wait, at the same time.
Right? But I mean, select all that apply. Bigender, I guess you're limited to only two.
Like, it seems like these are so specific, you don't need catch-alls. But a lot of these seem to be, it's a denoting of relating to a person whose sense of personal identity encompasses two genders. So you're both at the same time.
Okay. Boy, but it's spelled with an I, not a Y. So B-O-I.
B-O-I.
Yeah.
Boy is...
I think that's
Okay. Yeah. So it's...
Boy.
Well, I see a slang term. Would they put a slang term in one of these?
I hope not.
Because that's what they keep. It's
All
also
right,
the Bank of Ireland, by the way. So in case, it could just be like,
I identify as the Bank of Ireland.
That's all.
Okay, that's good. All right. Butch, I think we know that he was with the Sundance Kid. Demaboy.
Demaboy. Well, now, I'm not familiar.
D-M-I. Maybe that is...
D-E-M-I?
Yeah.
Okay, D-E-M-I.
I'm a boy that likes Demi Moore. In the heyday years.
Right, at the peak.
At the peak, yeah.
A demaboy is a gender identity describing someone who partially, but not wholly, identifies as a man. So you're partial man, basically.
Okay.
But I don't know why it's boy. But
yeah, okay. Feminine of center. Feminine of
That's
center.
That's a gender?
Feminine of center.
This is like someone who's just non-committal?
This is like...
Feminine of center.
This is like somebody who didn't like Biden or Trump. They're, I'm just in the center.
Okay, I have a definition, surprisingly.
Okay.
A phrase that indicates the gender identity and gender expression of persons who understand and present themselves in a generally
Feminine
way without necessarily identifying as a woman. So,
so then what would a femme be? Because that's the next one.
Okay.
Femme.
Femme.
Because that would be an effeminate man or a effeminate woman, right?
Okay, so femme would be a lesbian whose appearance and behavior are seen as traditionally feminine.
Okay, so maybe feminine of center.
But I was told very specifically that gender has nothing to do with sexuality. So why would a gender have a definition as a lesbian whose appearance is anything?
Why couldn't a very flamboyant man, very feminine man, be a femme?
I don't know. I would say this document's hateful.
It is. And not inclusive. Gender apathetic, which I claim I am that. I'm actually bi-gender. I'm gender apathetic and male.
I'm sick of talking about it, so does that make me gender apathetic?
Yeah, I think it does.
Gender apathetic?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
you don't really care. But wasn't that
every one of
that was no agender. That was agender.
That was a catch-all.
Okay, so this one is kind of like, I'm a little hostile. No, I'm not hostile. I don't care. I'm going to be hostile if you keep asking me these questions. I think that's what that means.
So gender apathetic, also called as apgender. So if you were out there going like, where's apagender? How come you haven't mentioned that? We're just using that under the other phrase for it, gender apathetic.
But you know that.
When a person really doesn't identify or care about any particular gender.
Yeah, okay. All right, okay. Gender non-conforming.
Now, again, that's a catch-all.
That's a catch-all, yeah.
Gender non-conforming just means...
I'm not conforming to any of these terms.
Right. Again, there's a lot of catch-alls here.
Right. Gender questioning, I think that...
Well, that's a catch-all.
Right. Gender fluid, which is also a...
Well, no, gender fluid is different, isn't it? My understanding of gender fluid is you're kind of changing all the time. You do care. Gender fluid, denoting or relating to a person who does not identify themselves as having a fixed gender. So you're kind of all over the board on that one. Like that you can kind of move like a liquid, like a fluid.
Right.
You can go anywhere you want, kind of thing.
Right.
Anywhere it'll take you.
Now that's different than transmission fluid.
That's not an actual gender.
No, it's a gender.
Transmission fluid?
Yeah. It means I was made by God herself, spelled with an I. To lubricate your driving machine. That's what
I don't think transmission fluid is.
Well, it should be. I think this is a hateful thing.
That's fair.
Okay, so we're down to gender queer. We got that.
Do we know what gender queer is? I don't know what gender queer actually means. I've heard it.
Look it up.
Denoting or relating to a person who does not subscribe to conventional gender distinctions, but
yes,
identifies with neither, both, or a combination of male and female genders. That's just everything.
That doesn't mean anything.
That is just a catch-all. Again, gender queer, catch-all.
Gray gender.
Gray gender.
Yeah, that is Jay Leno. I think that's Jay Leno.
No, I don't.
You don't think so?
No, okay, gray gender.
Yeah.
Oh, God, this is really confusing.
I could be considered gray gender. Is it old people? Is that what it is?
Okay, a person who identifies as at least partially outside the gender binary.
So they're not black or white. They're kind of in between. They're kind of gray.
And has a strong natural ambivalence about their gender identity.
Right, which
first of all,
we've already covered that.
This is kind of a catch-all, but it's also the same as gender apathetic, it seems like.
Yes, it does.
Except apathetic is you really don't care. And gray gender is I kind of don't care about my gender.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Got it.
Okay. Then intergender.
Intergender.
Yeah. This was not supposed to take us this long.
This is good, though. I'm really learning things.
Yeah, intergender.
Okay, intergender is a variation in sex characteristics, including chromosomes and or genitals that do not allow an individual to directly be identified as male or female.
That's a hermaphrodite, then.
I guess that's the new term for that. However, I've been told very specifically that these organs have nothing to do with your gender. So again, why is that in here?
This is the only scientifically based one.
Right.
Because we're talking chromosomes.
This isn't like a feeling that you have. This is about your parts. But again, I was told that had nothing to do with it.
Here's one you have to look up, and I'm dead serious.
Okay.
I have no idea what it means. Man. M-A-N. Man.
Are you sure it's not M-A-N-N?
Nope.
M-A-N-N-E?
Nope. It's M-A-N. Man. Look it up.
Man.
It's got to be a new
I don't think I
definition.
want. You know what? I'm gonna stop myself. I don't really want to Google man. I just feel like I don't. I feel like I don't know what alarm that may. GiveMeMen.com. I don't feel like that's
you
a
don't
good.
really? Okay. Well,
a good at work.
If somebody
sort of
knows
Google.
what that means, like for instance, the next one's Martian.
Martian.
Martian, but it's M-A-R-S-H-A-N.
Shut up. Martian.
Martian.
M-A-R.
It's somebody who feels like they're Marsha from the Brady Bunch. I think that's
that's not a real.
No, it's not.
I think
these are important to include. Don't know why you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are mocking people who are Martians. I know a lot of people who are Martians. All right, masculine of center. That's like feminine of center.
Mm-hmm. So you're like you lean
Maverick.
Maverick gender
yeah.
is
that's John McCain. I'm a Maverick, my friends.
Is that
Maverick.
a real one?
Yes, it
okay,
is.
Maverick is a gender. Okay, here we go. Oh no, I'm sorry. We should point out it's pronounced Maverick.
Oh, Maverick.
Maverick. A specific.
What is that cologne you're wearing? Maverick.
This is so confusing. Like, it's so confusing. How can it be the thing that everyone gets so mad about if you screw it up? Like, it's such a confusing thing. Maverick is a specific non-binary gender identity characterized by autonomy and inner conviction regarding a sense of self that is entirely independent of male masculinity, female femininity, or anything which derives from the two, while still being neither without gender nor of a neutral gender. That didn't make any sense, what I just said.
You know what this is? And I'm being serious. You know what this is? Is you just, if you say, it's neither male nor female, you can just go, that's ridiculous. I'm non-binary. Okay, whatever. But when if you're really trying to make something meaningless, you flood the system with all of these other choices that are all meaningless. So people will eventually go, it doesn't matter. I don't care. It doesn't matter. And you take away the choice of man and woman because it's included in this.
Yeah.
So man and woman included, I'm just a man, I'm a woman. But when you start to look at all of these genders and you realize none of these mean anything.
I mean, so many of these mean the same thing.
Yeah.
Or
well, not Maverick.
No, Maverick is different. But there's so many of them are just like basically outside of the normal, what they call normal gender identities or traditional gender identities. And it's like, well, you have 26 names for people in that world.
All right. I want you. So multi-gender is next, which we don't have time for. I want you to look up. It must be neutral.
Wait, how do you spell it?
Well, because it's darn close to. Well, I'll spell it. Neutrois.
Neutral.
It's got to be. Otherwise, it could be mispronounced as like neutrosis. Just
okay.
Neutral
is a non-binary gender identity which is often associated with neutral or null gender. So why wouldn't I just call it neutral gender or null gender if that's what it also may be associated with genderless. There's like all these things we've already talked about other things that describe the same thing.
Yeah, but for instance, I'm binary. Oh
my gosh.
Okay,
that's
and
hateful.
I know. Well, but it's not really. My binary means I only speak in ones and zeros.
Oh, okay.
And so,
wow.
Yeah. So
That's not what I.
So let me tell you about 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 1 0 0.